Hey, what's going on and what's going off? David Hasselhoff. In today's video, we're going to install this upgrade kit on Noodlemouth Bludgeon. And once we're done, he's going to look something like this. Crazy wazy, right? And it also integrates into alt mode as well. There's a tank mode, and there's this kind of jet mode. And the crazy thing about this is, like, dude, it uses diecast. And you can see the kit all connected over here. And let me just kind of give you a sneak preview. And you can see how it's mounted on its arm, and that's what that is supposed to be. It also comes with that translucent sword, and yeah, just a lot of different looks. And this was sent to me by TF Safari. TF Safari, check them out for all of your Transformers and mecha needs, and utilize those codes that you see on the top right-hand corner of the screen to save yourself a little bit of money. And this kit is from YYW. It's like, you're welcome. But yeah, it turns into this kind of weird jet-looking thing. But hey, there's supposed to be one more picture. Oh, okay. Here's the tank upgrade, and I think that looks pretty fly, dude. Especially got those like Decepticon banners over there. And so yeah, YYW kit from tfsafari.com. And so yeah, let's get into it. All right, so there are several ways in which you can install this, but let's go with the default one. And in order to do so, you will need to remove these treads. For alt mode, it's not going to be an issue, but for bot mode, you definitely need to. And I know some folks don't like modifying their toys. Well, it's just a temporary one. You're not going to have to do permanent damage to your toy. And these will only slide off in one specific way. You know what? Let me remove this. These will slide off in a very specific way. There are tracks on the bottom that will allow you to remove this. So there we go. You can see on the bottom over there, there's like a groove, right? And so you can just slide that off, and it comes off relatively easily as long as you find that particular channel and coax it out, which I'm having difficulty doing. There we go. All right. So now we have that removed, and he is prepped. He looks beautiful, right? And I'm not into like lore, and I don't read the comics and stuff, but this is from some type of comic verse thing, Bludgeon guy, IDW or Dreamwave or one of those things. Okay. So this is the shin upgrade. You're going to see that there's a tab over here, but there's also a slightly raised one, and that slightly raised one is the one that's going to seat all the way in. The first one is kind of like a guiding tab, and the second one is the one that really kind of sits all the way in, but it does utilize both. You just press, and then you will see that it'll lay flush on the shin. And we're going to do the same for this one. Oops, sorry, bud. But yeah, it's such a trip that this kit has so much metal. I've never seen a homebrew kit contain this much diecast. Pleasantly surprised, actually. So let me actually show you the bits of diecast. And so you can see that right over here. These blasters, they're also on diecast. And one problem I will say is that, like, I don't know which, like, is this supposed to be adhered to here or here? You know what I mean? And so let's say it's supposed to be on here, then you're going to have difficulty removing these, right? And don't use your teeth or anything like that. And so for situations like this, these types of little needle nose pliers with plastic grips are helpful, so that you're not going to damage any of the metal, and you're not going to damage your toy either. And so yeah, these are pretty cheap on Amazon. Same thing over here. We can see that he has metal. That's wild, right? Absolutely mental. Absolutely wild. Why is this here? Here as well. So surprising. I was really shocked. And I think that's it. Nice translucent sword, by the way. And really nice Decepticon banners, dude. Get the cup out of here. They're not supposed to include stuff with the Decepticon logo, but they did. One you can see better than the other. Maybe it's the lighting, but whatever, man. We're gonna install all of that, and so this is gonna go on. Excuse me. This is going to go on the left shoulder. Let me just lock that focus. And in order to get this to work, you see this channel over here, right? There's going to be a lot of stuff that plugs in and out. And for this one, it's just going to be this. So you're going to plug it in like so. And then we have a little tab over here. And that tab, even though you might think that it's going to go into that slot up there, it's not. It's going to go into the circle. It's going to go into that port. And so you just put that in there. It's a nice snug fit. And then you have one arm done, and then we have the shins done as well. The other side is pretty much the same, but it is asymmetric in terms of the look. And again, I'm assuming that this is all in line with the comic verse. So we'll just slide this in on those channels. And we will have that. I'm not saying anything. I'm like, ugh. And we'll have that in like so. And then we'll get this and we'll add that right over here. Paint's done really well. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good, man. And even the dark metallic like gunmetal and grays on this, that's pretty good too. And I hope most of this has been in focus, and I apologize if it has not. So far so good. And so in terms of the back, I'm gonna remove the blasters. There is one look that they promote. It doesn't really work. Not for me, at least. I mean, like, it just physically doesn't work. Not that it's some type of, like, style that I don't like. We're going to get that in there. And when you're removing this, be gentle. If you are going to remove it, use a spudger, get between there. That's why I'm not pushing it all the way in, because you don't want it to snap off and forever be embedded in there, right? You know what? I'm kind of losing track of what this is supposed to look like. So give me a second. All right, so this bit is correct. And this bit, the part that had the metal piece, you're going to actually combine it with the tread that you removed, and that same area, that track, you're just going to slip on. And this, man, I'm sorry about the focus. Just give me 1 second. I swear I spend more time talking about the focus than the toy on my videos. It's going to slide in there, and that thing's going to tab into that slot. And so nice and secure. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. Slide that in and have it tab in as well. And then we're going to connect all of that to this bit. It is tight though. The connection is rather tight, and so you are going to need those needle nose pliers later in the event that the die cast stays embedded, which it most likely will. Okay, and then from here we're going to grab the banners, the Bruce banners. And so this is natively on Bludgeon. It's just back laser, right? This top piece is what comes with the set, along with that banner. You guys hype for Avengers, what is it called? Doomsday? With RDJ as Dr. Doom. Kind of hype. I haven't caught the new Marvel stuff. I haven't caught Captain America. The last one that I saw was Deadpool. All right. Now we have that, right? And so we can plug that in. That's kind of cool, right? Other than this like random stuff up there. That's pretty rad, man. It gives them the standard bearer look. And you know what? Just give me 1 second. I'm going to raise the camera up. All right, much better. And you can see, yeah, like I said, that standard bearer look, which is really, really cool in my opinion. Great job. Wonderful aesthetic. I was like, what's that word? And then we'll give him his sword. Nice translucent. I believe it's modeled exactly off of the same one that comes with the other Bludgeon character. And then these, you don't really do much. I mean, all right, here's the one thing that doesn't work, that they claim works, but does not. So they claim that, here, let me actually remove this. They claim that you can plug this in here. You cannot. It does not work. There is no clearance here. So they have it kind of wedged like this for the sake of the picture. Bold-faced lie. And I absolutely hate that. I wonder if I can reverse the orientation. Kind of have the standard bearer. Here, let me show you that picture of what I'm talking about. But I'm going to try to remix this. Where is it? This look. You see that? He can't do that, dude. I don't know why they're lying, dude. They're faking the funk. So I don't like that. I don't like when they're showing me one thing, then I get it and I'm trying to do it. Like, it won't work. It just won't work. You could plug it in partially, but the connection is too shallow. It's going to fall off. So Bush League, yeah. It's a bunch of BS over there. So we're going to grab this. I'm going to see. Oops, this will work. I still want the flags in there to try to represent Decepticons. And from here, I can get that to sit in there, and I can get, let's flip them around. We can get that in there. We can get that in there. But now the question is, will you be able to, all right, I'm just going to remove the flags for a second. Will we be able to convincingly get it on his back? That's not bad. I think that's a much better look. So it is possible, but you do need to flip these bits around, and you could probably have this the other way as well, but it kind of looks cool like that, actually, having that little nozzle thing up here. And then if you wanted, yes, you could still have the flags embedded in there. So, okay, you can kind of do it, but they lied on the pictures. Dude, hold up for a second. Dude, there's some weird bug in my office. Give me one sec. All right, normally I'd be freaking out because I'm afraid of bugs, but this one's just so small, it's just more annoying than anything. But okay, here's the look. That is not bad. That is not bad. Flags in the back, blasters on the shoulder, sword in hand, shin guards, and shoulder upgrades. That's pretty decent. You can actually orient the shoulder upgrades differently as well. But before we do that, since we're here, I just want to see if I can orient this differently. Like, I just want to pull these out and flip them around just to see if it looks any better. But the connection is a little loose on the die cast. All right. Well, it's about the same, and I actually think I prefer the other look with this on the top. And but yeah, more or less it accomplishes the same thing. Anyway, let me kind of clean them up, and then I can show you the alternate shoulder configuration. All right, you know what? I just removed it. I just removed the backpack altogether. Dude, I was going to say completely unrelated and super random, but man, I'm a big fan of omelets. I know that's so random, right? Especially Japanese omelets, and I've just been watching videos on how they make those super silky, like Japanese style omelets, and now my entire feed and my shorts is just like people making omelets, dude. All right, so oops. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep this upgrade bit on even though it fell off over here, and this was on this side. And then you're going to exchange the placement. And not only will you exchange the placement, you'll have it go vertical. And it'll go in like that. I think they're just showing you different options. I didn't see a picture that that resembled that look from the comic. But if you didn't want it like too far out, you can do that. And that is not a bad look either. That looks kind of cool, man. I almost prefer this over the other one. It's a little bit more compact. I like the kind of spike looks, even though it does look like he's holding two Lego cups. two cups of Lego coffee on his shoulder. I was like, I got all excited. It does look like two Lego cups on his shoulder, but that's fine. And then, yeah, if we wanted this thing, we could have it over here as well. And I don't know, man, that's kind of cool. I'm digging all the treads on the shoulders. I really like the fact that it's giving him so many different looks and that there are so many options to this. Definitely something that's worthwhile. And now I'm going to show you how to combine these shoulder bits and this stuff and all of this, including the super cannon, to create the mega cannon for his arm. And so let me just kind of remove all these bits, clean them up once again, and I'll be right back. I know I hate all these short breaks and takeaways, but it's necessary. Okay, one sec. I just realized I said takeaway. That's like to go in Europe. I meant to say cutaway. All right, we pretty much got him back to baseline. Installed the treads again, and then I just added these shoulder bits because they didn't have any place to go. And then we still have the shin bits on him, and so I'm just going to set that off to the side. And now what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade these bits. Well, we're going to reconnect these to the original parts, and it'll just go in like that. And you will do the same for the other side. It'll click in place. And this over here, the super cannon will mount on the front, and it will become the ultimate cannon when you install these bits on the side. I do wish these could go somewhere because they're just kind of chilling right now. But ultimately, the look that you're trying to do is you're trying to create that look that Bludgeon had on his arm. And so, yeah, that's what that is. Now that we have it done, we should be able to equip it. And there we go. I wonder if it works better if I flip this around. I want to say no. I think there's going to be some collision issues, but let me spin that around. Not horrible. Not horrible. Certainly not my favorite mode, but it looks okay, and it does kind of look like the one that the original Pretender had on his hand, but it's pretty heavy, and the elbow doesn't like holding it up. But if you just wanted to get into some cool shots, like perhaps I'll use it for the thumbnail where he's like, yeah, you know, doing some stuff. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, there's some like pluses and minuses to this kit. But definitely, I like the mode earlier where we had these bits going vertical, and then I thought that mode was the best one. But anyway, I'm going to return him to baseline. Then I'm going to transform him off camera so that I can show you the tank, and then I can show you fake jet mode. Alrighty, I'll be right back. All right, so here we have baseline. And from here, we're going to add these bits to the side. And I believe they're just going to go right there. And these were the shoulder pauldron type things from earlier. And you know what's funny? This is the first time I actually transformed them into alt mode. And this is kind of loose. I had to do some fixing to get this to stick. But yeah, some issues. Anyway. That mega giant super cannon that we made earlier, right? We're actually just going to keep that as is, and we're just going to plug that in up top. And so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Super duper gnarly. And we're going to get these blasters, and we're going to have them sit right underneath. Although they are at an odd angle. But it is what it is. But, oh, it's also not plugged in underneath this leg. All right, hold up. So we're going to have these plugged in like so. The standard bearer, the flags, are going to plug into the back. And I'm going to show you the worst part in just a second. So this is not bad. And like I said, I believe this is plugged back here and not up at the front, but just give me 1 second. Let me check. Yeah, I was right. It is plugged in over there. Just double checking. And so we're going to plug that in. The one thing that I don't like is these are just kind of like hanging in the air. You see that gap beneath over here? I mean, it's cool, and I like the fact that you can convert it into alt mode, but I hate the fact that it's just not sitting flush, and it's just chilling like so. And I don't think I can crunch it any further. I think that's just the way it is. I mean, you could have it sit down like that, but then the red bits are, if those are supposed to be missiles, they're just facing the ground, and that looks kind of awkward, but sure, it does get rid of the gap. And then finally, these bits. This little tab is supposed to plug in right over there. And it does plug in, but it like bows out because there isn't proper clearance. You see that channel right there? That's supposed to house that little tab, but it doesn't really. It doesn't. The connection's just way too tight. Yeah. And so that's not great. Like the look is cool, but the fit, it's just bowing out right now. And while it might be okay to use for pictures, like I'm going to use this to snap the thumbnail, and yeah, it's going to look cool and all. Much cooler in picture form versus in hand. You see what I'm talking about? It's kind of bowing, it's kind of bridging out, you know what I mean? And so not great. I don't like the fact that this is kind of sitting down. Not great. Looks cool though. But just when you take a deeper look at it, it's unsatisfying. At least for me. And so if I didn't like this, I'm probably not going to like the fake jet mode, which I'm going to show you right now. All right, I prepped one side already, and it turns out that you do have to remove those treads again. And so, where'd it go? You're going to get those treads, and you're going to plug them in into the green bit. Like that, right? And then you're going to get that weird shin covering thing. I'm really disliking this thing in alt mode. This is just, I don't know if it's an afterthought or whatever this is, but yeah, I mean, yeah, they're making the effort, and so like, cool on them for doing that, but I just don't think it really works. I really don't. And this is supposed to be the wing. They're trying to extend it as like much as possible. I think they should just included some wing bits, man. Like, yeah. So it's supposed to be like this. I don't think this will connect as it stands. And so, yeah, so those are the wings. And back here, you get this. It's not the worst thing in the world. I actually think it's better than the tank mode, but not by a lot. And then you're going to get this, and see this like really small slot over there? That bit that raises up, you're going to insert it into there, and it's a tight enough fit. And then on top of that, we are going to have this sit. And that is the jet mode. Not very convincing. Wings need to be larger. A for effort. Good attempt. But yeah, I don't know, man. I would not get this for the alt mode. It looks cool for pictures. It totally does. But in terms of like actual like application and what's the word that I'm looking for? Like fun factor and playability and I don't know, man. It doesn't do it for me, dude. I do like the bot mode though. I do like the bot mode, especially that second configuration that we did, like kind of like the accident one that we kind of bootlegged. I like that one, but these alt modes are they're pretty meh for me. Still, if you're in the market to pick up a kit to upgrade your noodle mouth bludgeon, this is a pretty decent one. And I think in the future, I've seen another one from Mechanical Skull Studio or something like that. Those guys who put out the amazing Legends Armada Starscream, and I'm sure TF Safari will carry that as well, and I'll probably do a review on that once I receive it. But for the time being, yeah, this is not bad in bot mode. In bot mode, I like it. But in alt mode, I don't think it really works. Anyway, your opinion may differ, and that is totally fine. I just want to say thank you for watching again, and I will talk to you another time.